Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am PommyInOz and this is the show where VFL meets AFL dreams, and we're keeping tabs on all things navy blue in the VFL game versus Geelong. And this was a really good game. We're deep diving into this round 5. We will have all the crunch moments, all the clutch numbers, and all the players from both sides that are AFL listed and how they performed. This is your one-stop shop if you couldn't be bothered to watch this game, and I will look to inform you of who looks ready, who's developing, and who is having the time of their lives in the B tier of the AFL development. So let's run that intro, crack straight into it. So the final score in the end was the Blues getting up 13 goals 10 for 88, defeating Geelong 12-12. 84. It was a bruising, breathless encounter that had multiple lead changes, and it came down to a set shot in the very final minutes of the game, and that was none other than Harry O'Farrell. Swung forward as a roll of the dice from Luke Power, drilled it home, Blues held on, and the monkey was off the bat. The Blues got a big W. The tone was set early. Cowan had a plethora of AFL-listed players, none other than players such as Lockie Cowan, Sam Docherty and Jordan Boyd, and they looked clean at the back half of the ground. Carlton did start very well, but Geelong came back like a train, Polkinghorne and Ballantyne among the early threats for them. The second quarter saw the Blues kick 3 unanswered. Camporeale and Pearnett were really giving the midfield some teeth, and Binns was a real nice threat on the outside. Ashton Moyer, he drilled one from beyond the arc, an absolute sensational goal, but the Cats, as always, are very sharp. Ted Closey led the way. He was bone-rattling with some of the tackles and really industrious around the clearances, keeping them within 5 at the half. In the third, Hudson O'Keefe, Ashton Moyer got early goals. The Cats surged through Sarovic and Joe Pike, levelling the scores in the third quarter. The fourth was chaos. Nathan Kruger, former Collingwood-listed player, he had a couple of goals, and it looked like it was all game over. But upset Sam Docherty. He was incredible in this quarter, and O'Farrell had ice in the veins to cap it off. All in all, the Blues got to sing their song at the end in what was a real spirited game. So let's look at the AFL-listed players. We'll start with Sam Docherty. He finished with 28 touches, 17 of them were kicks, 6 rebound 50s, 4 tackles, playing in his traditional halfback role. This was what you'd expect from Doc. Organised, everything behind the ball, and even drove the final match-winning chain. He was in and out of the game, but when the game came down to it and when it mattered, he was very clean and very clutch. I've been very critical of the VFL that we kind of give the lesser ranks who are on the VFL the main role. It was good to see Doc there as the daddy of the group and really holding them over. And this composure in the fourth really helps the players because it's better to learn in a win. I was impressed with Sam Docherty's game, and I really liked what he brought to the table. Another guy that is impressing me every week, Ben Camporeale. The 23 touches, 78% efficiency, 6 tackles and 5 score involvements. Tough in the contest, great on the spread, nice turn of speed, a little bit of grunt as well, and he's got a bit of zip in and around the contest. And these aren't just racking up junk time touches. He is actually using the ball well, getting it in the mixer, getting it in the hot zones. Very impressed by Ben. He won't be far away should there be an injury. I would have thought if Chera was suspended this week, which he wasn't, I reckon Ben might have been a shot there because I really like what he's bringing. Lucas Camporeale, just the 14 touches, but went at a good efficiency, 8 kicks, quiet, did the basics well, played that defensive wing role. He did steady the ship, and he always got loose in transition to create the outlet. It wasn't really targeted for him, but I really like his two-way running. He worked really hard, swung at times at halfback, played on that left wing. Really solid game from him. And there is some building, some nice repertoire. You can see, it's a little bit like a couple of years ago when they played Lockie O'Brien in that role, trying to work on his defensive craft, and I can see that from him. He's doing incredibly well as well at it, just creating that outlet ball. Jackson Binns, 22 touches, 17 of them kicks. Goni got the behind. This is becoming kind of the same from Jackson Binns for me. Up and down the wing, he keeps the structure well. I feel like I want to see a bit of polish, though, under pressure. He does cough it up when the game is on the line. There was a few loose kicks there, and I do expect a little bit more from Jackson. So more of the same, but really needs to start ironing that out. Mark Pernett, 33 hit-outs, 12 disposals, won a few important taps, physically imposed himself at times. Feels like he's still working back to peak fitness, though. So I don't think he's in the selection table at this minute. Jordan Boyd, 22 touches, 8 marks, 3 intercepts. Reliable, was neat off halfback, intercepted when needed to. Really did link up to attack well. He's definitely AFL ready when Voss wants him. Did like this game. Harry O'Farrell was a very solid game, but then he became the headline. Very composed under pressure. I really like his movement here. I like his positioning. Some of the things that you don't get stats for, the way he engages the contest very early. He plays it on his terms. You can see he looks to engage at the right time, just knocking the forward off balance so he can attack it. I'm a big fan of Harry O'Farrell. I don't want to see him anywhere near the AFL this year. Let him develop, let him cook, but he's going really nicely. We have got a centre-half back there, in my opinion, on this trajectory for the next 10, 12 years. Really like Harry O'Farrell. Hudson O'Keefe, amiably in the ruck. Some good score involvements, 2 goals. Massive improvement. Moves well, kicks nice and truly, looks confident, and I really like it. He's starting to put it together in VFL level. He's starting to kick into that next stage of the development. Really like the Hud dog. Harry Lemmy, 1 goal, 3 marks. Didn't dominate, but again, presenting really well. Took some solid grabs. Works hard in and around the contest. I'd love to see us target him more. I'd love to see him and McMahon switch roles. Whether this means McMahon's going to be cited for the VFL promotion in the mid-season, be interesting to see that, because you'd imagine we will be ahead of clubs that are looking for it. But I do want to see Harry Lemmy have the main role. I really do. I think he needs it for his development. Francis Jeffers Evans, a late assist. He's busy, but this feels like he's like level. It's a shame we don't have two young small forwards here, because I feel like Francis Evans would really develop from it, help them develop. But it was a solid game, but it's kind of what I expect to see from Francis Evans. Ashton Moyer, I really liked he was getting involved a little bit more. The 3 tackles show that. Continues to grow. This was his best game of the season. His goals were absolutely beauties, has to be said. They were very strong goals. I really liked what I saw from him this week coming into it. And then we've kind of categorised these guys. Harry Charlson and Rob McMahon. Rob McMahon's best game. There is some development there coming from him. I did like the fact that he was really, really, really up and about in this game. And it didn't stand out stat-wise, but they played their parts. Monaghan's kick to Liam McMahon late was brilliant. And Billy Wilson, kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, does some really nice roles, really nice things with the ball in hand. He's kind of the victim at the minute because Doc, Cowan and Boyd are there. It'd be interesting to see what they do with him, because there is something there without sheer raw pace. Then let's look at Geelong listed players. Ted Closey, 25 touches, 14 tackles. This guy, I have a huge concern here that, when I look at people who were drafted, I look at people who are on the list. Ted Closey's one of them players that I look and go, Geelong have got a superstar here. This guy works hard. So hard. It's like Tom Atkins 2.0. Really solid beast mode. Works hard. Gives it off to players who are better than himself. He knows his role. Big fan. Jay Polkinghorne, multiple contests. Played deep, played high, found the goals and was involved massively on their forward structure. I really like Jay Polkinghorne. Is he ready for AFL? No, but I do like from his development, from what I've seen in his draft years to where he is now, really solid. He could be one for the future. He works really hard. He really understands, like old Geelong players, their structure, their role. And you can see this is a real paramount when you watch Geelong in this game. Jake Colajasny used his experience well, matched up, won most of the contests with Lemmy, as you would expect him to do. Only the 8 touches, though. Very kind of like subservient role, which I do really appreciate from Geelong. They really just know that their AFL-listed senior players are always going to be ready to go at a moment's notice. But this was solid. The leadership there is really apparent. He's always barking instructions. Pat Patrick Rzetsko, big fan of him when he was in his draft. Key part of their ball movement as well. Played a steady role, uses it very smartly. The 18 touches, his rebounds are really solid. I'm a real big fan of him. And then my boy, Caton Matafei Forbes. I really love this guy. This kid, when he kicks the ball, that ball stays absolutely rooted. I was worried about having Starling here, that he was going to hit one of their freaking satellites, but clutch finish really puts in a shift. He gave them a sniff with that goal. Incredibly mobile. Swung down back, then played forward as well. There's some real facets of his game that just really excite me if I was a Geelong fan. There's something just about him. He works incredibly hard, and I really like it. The Pike dog, Joe Pike. I thought he battled incredibly hard in the ruck. He plays a bruising brand of footy. Big goal, throws his body weight around. He's kind of like Sean Darcy, but can move. He brings the ball to ground. He plays it to the advantage quite a lot. Real solid play. I really like Joe Pike. You can see that Geelong's mantra of taking people locally is going to pay dividends. He's probably going to be like an All-Australian by 2030. And then Xavier Izovic, quiet outing for him. Didn't impact the stats as you would, but he did be a body. It was a real body kind of thing. He's a real raw talent, and there's going to be a bit of time there. But you can see what Geelong are working on with him. Disposal count, Blues dominated that 335 versus 278. They drew the clearances 35. Inside 50s, again, they drew that as well, 45. But the marks was incredible. Geelong really looking to run the ball. The Blues having real field control with their 112 to 57. Carlton controlled the tempo, real efficient ball use, and they gave it to their young players, which is a huge win. Keep saying we're not looking at results here, we're looking at development, and this was very akin to their senior role. Carlton are a heavy marking side. They do like to play that and try and control the tempo, and you know, for once they did. So who is pressing for it? Well, Docherty, Boyd and Cowan, we know that AFL ready. Docherty, I would like to see him stay in the VFL. And if we are promoting someone, it's going to be Cowan or Boyd for me. Because I just feel like we need to move on from Docherty. I love him, but I really like that leadership role. I'd love to see him in an ideal world work heavily with Billy Wilson. Because I feel like there is something there with Billy. Ben Camporeale, tough inside, got some polish as well. He will be pressing the button. And O'Keefe, Moyer and Evans. Moyer needs to do a bit more. Hudson needs to do a lot more. Evans, he's always going to be the break glass in case of the emergency should Cowan have 3 small forward injuries. But Ashton is one that I am really enjoying what he did this week. I really like to see it. And from Geelong, Ted Closey, I wouldn't be against seeing him in the team ASAP Rocky. I really do like what he's doing. I was very impressed by him. So that's the breakdown there. A 4-point win, clutch finish, some serious movement from the AFL-listed boys. Who impressed you the most though? Do you want to see Docherty in the seniors, or do you like him in this development role? And Cowan, he can't be far away. I love the fact he was playing a bit more loose. I'd love to see that in the AFL after a couple of weeks here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Geelong fans, let me know how you thought I reviewed your players. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. We have a load of content. And as always, see you soon. Pom out.